Hello, fellow Americans, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Common Sense with your host, C.J. Brown. This is where you get the truth, whether you like it or not. And that's what we stand for, and that's what we're going to continue standing for. Today, we're going to discuss a rather sad and tragic issue that most of us know what's going on. We can see it around us. Specifically, what has happened to America's cities, once called the jewels of America. Our cities. We were so proud of them. It's unbelievable what has happened. They're rusty, they're decaying, everything is collapsing, the infrastructure's gone. Meanwhile, back in Washington, D.C., you can just guess what your politicians, the ones who call themselves your representatives in $2,000 or $3,000 suits, are doing. Nothing. They're having their cocktails and telling their dirty jokes and making their dirty deals behind your backs. But they're not doing a damn thing to get our jewels, the cities of America, restored to their former grandeur. Look at Detroit. If you had told someone 50, 75 years ago what Detroit would look like by 2019, they would have laughed at you. They would have had you committed. Look at the crime going on in Chicago over the weekend, Chicago, Illinois. Several deaths by guns, about 42 shootings. That's just an average weekend, I guess. They have a newly elected mayor. I think her name is Lightfoot, black lady mayor, the first one in Chicago's history. What the hell is she going to do about it? She's just going to sit there on her hands like Rahm Emanuel did before her, and the one before him did? Nothing? They just sit there doing nothing. They're destroying these cities, my friends. Look at Baltimore, filled with crime. Look at Los Angeles, on the verge, according to experts, of being the site of the first outbreak of bubonic plague, or the Black Death, in hundreds of years, in centuries. And because of all the homeless people and the raw feces and the rat infestations and needles and mosquitoes, and you have all of these flies and airborne diseases, typhoid, typhus. This is actually happening in the United States of America. Do you know? I'm told Los Angeles doesn't even have a rat abatement program in place. And yet we are on the verge of the Black Death. What does it take to wake Americans up so that they finally demand that their politicians get off their rear ends and take action to solve these issues? It's also tragic driving into cities to see everything rusting and rotting away. The overpasses. I just came across the entire country. I look at the overpasses on the interstates, they're all rusty. Don't we give a damn about anything anymore? Why are we always sticking our nose into everyone else's business around this planet and letting our own infrastructure and problems go to hell? Why are we allowing this? I thought Trump kept bragging about how he was going to make America more beautiful than ever. Of course, the Democrats, look what they've done. They fought him tooth and nail. He can't get anything through. I can't believe this is actually going on. What really astounds me is that the American citizen, the typical American citizen, is standing by and allowing this to happen. Instead of marching on Washington or marching on their state capitals and saying, in a manner that's somewhat threatening, we're not going to elect you. You're not going to go back. We're going to retire you very shortly from doing nothing. Now get off your rear ends and get back there and do something. It's disgraceful to see what's happened to our cities. Our railroads have gone to hell. Our railroad grade crossings, there are so many accidents now. Light rail. It's as if we can't operate anything now. What are we going to do? Call in China or Japan or Germany to assist us and tell us how to operate everything? Is that next? Are we that stupid? Well, we go on bragging and bragging about how rich we are. Yay, we're rich, we're Americans, we're better than everybody on earth. That's baloney. Have you traveled to many cities, as I have, around the globe, and seen how updated and how modernized and clean everything is? And you come back to the United States. When I came back here 50, 60 years ago, I would say, I'm so glad to be an American citizen. I'm so glad to be back on American soil. Because everything I saw abroad, or nearly everything, was messed up. Now, 50, 60 years later, I'm ashamed of the United States, as you well should be too. Now our foreign adversaries are all fixed up, and we're the mess now. How much longer are we going to put up with this, folks? And silly, stupid mayors like that one in New York City, now running for president, what are his qualifications? He's not even a half-assed mayor. Look at them. What is going on in all these cities? I can't imagine it. Well, anyway, that's our 5 minutes of common sense today. Get on the telephone and get after your politicians. Get your neighbors to get after them. Call them. Call your neighbors and say, call this number in Washington, D.C. or in your state capital and demand action. That's the American way, friends. If we don't start cleaning this mess up now, we're going to have nothing to pass on to our children or them to their children. It's disgraceful. By now, everything should be modern and up to date. Our airports should be beautiful, our mass transportation systems. It's disgraceful. And by the way, have you driven down your city streets? Almost every state I think that I drove through, potholes. I can't believe it. They could break your axle right off. They could tip your car over. Nobody gives a damn about that anymore. I think drugs has a lot to do with this. Prescription narcotics, which many, as I have said before in my broadcasts, the drugging and dumbing down of America. You look into this, you'll find out if these physicians came clean. They are prescribing opioid medications for your elected leaders. Your representatives are probably higher than a kite right now and making all these bad decisions. Can we please bring back America's jewels, our beautiful cities, where once we would go and stand there awestruck at the beauty and the engineering, and the streets, and the culture, museums, the wonderful sports stadiums, the restaurants, and, of course, the business capitals of America. Who was it? Which president was it that said the business of America is business? Well, why aren't we behaving that way now? All this socialism crap. Everybody wants to spread it all around. You know what that is? That's a sign of our last-ditch effort to survive. After that, there is no going back, my friends. So, this is your 5 minutes of common sense. Like it or not, you've just heard at least my opinion of what is actually going on, and I have the experience because I've just driven across the entire country from coast to coast. And believe me, it's not a very pretty picture, friends. So please subscribe to this channel. And until we meet up again, you take care, okay? Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye now.